There's quite a number of ones. The first, we're starting off the first Seder from Book of Devarim. We've also got Rosh Chodesh, and of course it starts with the 9 days when beginning we don't eat meat, we don't drink wine, etc. No simchas. It's very interesting that there's no such thing in the Torah as coincidence. When the Chachomim decided to institute the Haftarah, it had to have some connection with the Sedra. This week we're starting off with Moshe Rabbeinu coming along. It's before his demise. He's got a few weeks and he's going to get off his chest as to tell the Klal Yisrael where they went wrong and how they would be able to enter Eretz Yisrael. You can hear his heart is broken because he's not going in himself. So the thing is, there are three things here which stand out. Number one, this Seder is always read on the Shabbos before Tisha B'Av. Number two, the Haftarah, which we have in every week, usually has a connection with the beginning of the Seder, some of the Seder, but this has got to do with Tisha B'Av. It's got nothing to do with the Seder. And thirdly, you will find that itself in Tisha B'Av, with the actual coming of Tisha B'Av, is a very interesting day. Let me explain to you the connection. If you look carefully, there is one word that stands out in all three cases. Number one, in this week's Seder at the beginning, it starts off, Moshe Rabbeinu's despair. Eicho esol levadi. How can I lead such or bear the burdens all by myself to lead Klal Yisrael? Eicho, how can I? Yeshayahu comes along, Eicho ha'yetol lezoino. How is it possible that Yerushalayim could become such an unfaithful city? And finally, Yirmiyahu, in next week, you've got the Kinos, you've got the Haftarah, you've got everything like that. Eicho yoshvo vodod. How is it possible, he said, that this Klal is Eretz Yisrael, Eicho, how is it possible that the great city of Yerushalayim should now be in destruction? So there's three words, three times the same word appears, Eicho, in the Sedra, in the Haftarah, and in the Eicho, in the Kina. So the question is, what is the connection of all of them? Well, of course, you'll see the real connection is not just in the word Eicho, but in the answer which is given. Eicho, how is it possible for me? Why was he complaining, Moshe Rabbeinu? He said, because there was no chesed. Something was wrong. Something was missing every time. Whether it was because of Yerushalayim and the Beis HaMikdash, we didn't deserve it. Is it because Moshe Rabbeinu couldn't lead Klal Yisrael because there was something missing in the midas of Klal Yisrael? I'd like to change the word and read it something differently. If you all remember the very beginning of the Seder, of the Torah, Adam HaRishon was asked, don't eat me'etz hadas tovaro. And he eat it. And the Kodesh Baruch Hu said, Ayeko, where are you? Now look at the spelling of Ayeko. It's exactly the same thing as the word Eicho. He was saying, how could you have done such a thing of eating from I told you not to eat? Here today we're going to change it around and say, not Eicho, but Ayeko. Where are you in the scheme of Klal Yisrael? Are you living in the tzedek with righteousness? We're not worried about this. We're worried, but we're not worried here at the moment whether you ate kosher, didn't eat kosher. We're saying in your whole midas, your avodas Hashem, your emunah, your betochen, ayeko. Where do you stand? Do you deserve Yerushalayim? Do you deserve to have a Moshe Rabbeinu to lead us? Do you deserve what's going on for the Beis HaMikdash? This is the important message of the Seder, all tied up together. Ayeko, we've got to stop now. It's the beginning of the 9 days. We don't just stop eating meat and drinking wine. There's no simcha because we don't know what's happening yet. Even now with what's going on in the world today, Ayeko, where do we stand? Are we standing doing teshuvah? Are we doing the emunah, the betochen? Have we got our closeness back to HaKadosh Baruch Hu? And if Moshe Rabbeinu would come back, would he say, Eicho, how could I lead such a people? We've got to make sure that we are in such a state that we are able to move forward, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu will then give us the Beis HaMikdash. And that's the connection of all the Sedras. Devarim. It's in Mishnah Torah. Moshe Rabbeinu is telling us, please, Ayeko, find out where you are and move forward. Every individual can move. Nobody is static. You know, it says that when it came to Klal Yisrael in the wilderness, it says that they were standing, but of course they're standing still. Atem nitzovim hayam, you're all firm, But we don't want to be firm. We're mahalchim. We have to keep moving. We have to keep going. Are we going? Are we moving towards HaKadosh Baruch Hu to deserve the Beis HaMikdash? Do we deserve a Moshe Rabbeinu to come and teach us? Do we deserve a Mashiach to take us into Yerushalayim? Are we earning it? And that, by the way, is the message as well, that every individual should consider that he is responsible, number one, for the fact that we haven't got a Beis HaMikdash, and number two, if we do get it, it was because of our Zechusim. I hope in Mirz Hashem we'll all be Zoiche to have a Shabbos like this becoming a Shabbos Chazon, a vision. We'll see ourselves, we'll look at ourselves, and we will see how we can better our midas, not the man, the kashrus and all the other things. We're talking about our tzedek, our righteousness, our relationship towards our fellow man, our relationship, of course, towards the Kodesh Baruch Hu. This is the message of the Seder. This is the message of Tisha B'Av. This is the message of Yeshayahu. This is the message of Yirmiyahu. The Nevi'im are coming crying to us. I'm crying today as well to say to you, Ayeko. Not just Echo, how could you do such thing, but Ayeko. Are you in the picture? Are you part of the society of Klal Yisrael? I wish you all a good Shabbos, and wish you all in Mirz Hashem that the week ahead should be an easy week, and we will talk next week about Tisha B'Av.